All right, let's bring in Ziyadin Cakir. He's a professor of geology over at Istanbul Technical University to discuss these twin tremors that took place a year ago. Good to have you on the show. It's a somber and sad day, but I think it's important for us to sort of convey to our viewers the true extent, this anomaly, this phenomenon in terms of geological perspective. This was the largest earthquake that Turkey had seen since 1939, the Erzincan earthquake. It was the deadliest one in modern-day Turkey since, I think, 526 AD Antioch. It was felt as far away as Egypt. 30,000 tremors, aftershocks, in the ensuing 90 months. Talk to us about, from a geological perspective, how powerful this was.
It's definitely one of the largest and most deadly earthquake in Turkish history. In the history, in the nearby, in the Middle East. The faults, the source of these earthquakes had been known before, well mapped by Geological Survey of Turkey, MTA, and especially after the 2020 Elazığ Sivrice earthquake, we knew that earthquakes would propagate to the southwest, but we did not know exactly when this would happen.
It's always a question with earthquakes, right? Not if it's going to happen, but when it's going to happen.
Yeah, that's. But you know that some people give timing, etc., but this is not possible. With this current state of knowledge in science, we are not able to forecast earthquakes in short term. But in the longer term, yes, we can forecast. It's a huge earthquake with the twin. It's been the first earthquake, of course, like rupture 130 kilometers long section of the fault, all the way from Sivrice to Antakya. And then that damaged a lot of buildings already that were, of course, hit by the second earthquake 9 hours later. And that was very difficult.
From a geological perspective, how is it bizarre? Is it uncommon to actually have two very powerful earthquakes measuring in excess of a magnitude 7.0 happen within such a short window frame?
It's very infrequent, in fact. It's not very common to have these large earthquakes, two or more, in such a short period of time. But it can happen. If the faults are very close to each other, which is the case in Maraş area, it can happen. It depends where the earthquake starts, which direction propagates. The stress, the dynamic stress can trigger other earthquakes, like it triggers huge amount of aftershocks.
You've probably been studying this quite extensively over the past 12 months. 12 months on, when you sort of look at, analyze the seismic activity that happened in the region, were the two earthquakes completely independent of each other, or did actually the first quake trigger the second one?
Yes, the first earthquake increased the stress, both dynamic stress and static stress on the second Elbistan fault, Çardak fault, which took about 9 hours to be fully activated. But of course, the scientific investigations, calculations indicate very clearly that the first earthquake made a strong hit on the second fault. With the increasing motion beneath the fault, we say post-seismic deformation, increase the stress on the Elbistan fault and then cause the second.
So we have a map of Turkey here. You're talking about increased stresses here. So essentially, this part of Anatolia is actually at the center point of three active plates. You have the Eurasian plate up into the northeast. Right. This is the Anatolian plate. You have the Arabian plate, which is actually sort of pushing up. And then you actually have the Africa plate.
Yes.
And this is the main reason why this part of the world is actually so seismically sensitive.
That's right. But each earthquake redistributed distribute stress or decrease or increasing the stress on nearby faults. So the first earthquake with magnitude 7.7 or 7.8 increased the stress on the second fault that ruptured 9 hours later. So, but in general, yes, this area is well known by the geological community that, it's where the 3 or 4 plates come together, interplaying and pushing each other, causing a lot of...
A massive amount of energy was dispersed as a result of these 2 powerful earthquakes.
Right.
When it comes to what we can expect in the region, it is still an active fault line, so we do expect earthquakes. But in terms of a big one possibly being relived, have we bought some time here, or is it still in the danger zone?
Still, the danger is not over. I think it's because, especially towards the Dead Sea fault, towards Syria and towards Cyprus, I think the stress increased and other earthquakes may happen in future, but we don't know when. Also, there are other smaller faults, like Malatya fault or Southern fault, that may also produce earthquakes up to magnitude 7 in the area.
Okay, Ziyadin Cakir, thank you very much for joining us on this special coverage as the country marks 1 year since these 2 devastating earthquakes. Thank you.